So number 11 is a polynomial question. Fx is divisible by x plus 3. So the word divisible means that the remainder is 0. And how do we know that it's negative 3? So every time whatever they say it's divided by, make that thing equal to 0. Okay, get me? And so that when you move the 3 over, it becomes negative 3. So x is equal to negative 3. So x in the function is negative 3. And it's equal to 0 because of the word divisible. Okay? And if you're going to do that now, so replace all the x's as negative 3 in the function above. So 4k negative 3 cube plus 9k negative 3 square minus 17 negative 3 plus 3 equals 0. So now you can see there's only a k in the polynomial, which you can now find the answer for. And to save time, so it's negative 24k plus 54. So move the negative 27 over and then divide the 27 underneath 54, you get 2. So part A is done. And for part B, when you do factorization, either you can use the division or use a simple using the coefficients. So this is the synthetic division. So since k is found now, so 4k is not 4k. 4k is 4 times 2 now, because it's no longer k is 2. So 4 times 2 is 8. And similarly, 9k should be 9 times 2, which is 18. And then the no more k's in there, so negative 17 and a 3. So we're going to use that same factor, which was the negative 3 in part A. So how do we do that? So first term, the 8, we just write it straight down, we copy it down for the first term only. And whatever term we will write down at the underneath this line, we will multiply this by this negative 3 first. So 8 times negative 3 is negative 24. So where do we write it? We write it in the next column on the top. Okay, 8 times negative 3 is negative 24. And what do we do to these terms? We plus them. Okay, so 18 plus negative 24 is negative 6. Okay, and again, as I said, whatever term we write down here, we will multiply by this first. So negative 6 times negative 3 is 18. And if you add them, you get a 1. And 1 times negative 3 is negative 3. And when you add them, is a 0, which is perfect, which we want 0 because this 0 is actually our remainder. And remainder is 0 in this case. So we get our coefficients already for the second bracket. So actually what we'll write down is fx is now 2 brackets. The first bracket being your factor, which is the x plus 3. That's why we use this negative 3 over here. And the second factor is 8x squared, because there's the constant term, this is the x term, and this is the x squared term. Okay, minus 6x plus 1. And you should be able to notice that this is actually still a polynomial which can be further factorized in 2 smaller brackets. You can use your calculator, or you can think about this, the cross method. Okay, so cross method will tell us that it's 4x plus 1 and 2, sorry, minus 1 and 2x minus 1. Or the calculator actually gives you 1 over 4 and 1 over 2. So 1 over 4 and 1 over 2. It tells you what x equal to. So using concept of we first multiply over, so it's 4x, and then we subtract the 1 over minus 1. And same concept, we multiply it first, 2x, and then subtract it. So these two are your brackets, right here and right here. So this will be on your calculator if you use formula number 1, because formula number 1 is for quadratic equations. So once that's done, so using this in part C, they tell us that fx now is equal to 0. So if these 3 things are written down, is equal to 0, we should appreciate that how can we make these three brackets to be 0 is either one of them is 0. Any one of them is 0, then the whole equation will be 0 because we are multiplying. So the first example, if you take as x is -3, so -3 plus 3 will make this 0. Now it doesn't matter whether this will be zeros or not, because 0 times anything is still 0. So any of these three brackets can become 0. Okay, so we have to take care of three cases. So first case is when x plus 3 is 0, or when x minus 1 is 0, 4x minus 1 is 0, or 2x minus 1 is 0. Actually, these two were already got by your calculator, which is half and 1/4. And for this one, we also got it before, which is -3. So these three are the roots actually, or hence solving this equation. We got three answers for x. If you don't understand this one, you add 1 over before you divide the 4. You add 1 over before you divide the 2. So it's 1/2 and 1/4 respectively.